course, the gun is jumping a little bit. So you could always take a finger and just run it down there.
I've got a finger.
Okay, go for it. You do a fat finger, a thin finger, whatever works for you.
What if I don't have a fat finger?
Your thumb. Finger. Go. Yep, muchos mejor.
Muchos más mejor.
Tape measure review. Lufkin Black Widow 25 footer. Awesome. Easy to read, neon green on black. And you can read it from the backside too. So
nice.
It's really, really cool. So if you're working on the ceiling per se, you can actually just hold it up there and see.
Oh, nice.
What you do, and it's really cool. I got this for $9.99 at Ace Hardware.
Nice.
Sale. So all you unbelievers, ye shall lose the hair on your head.
And then I saw you put tape measure, and I'm a believer.
So there we go. About 616 gives us right at the middle of the window.
Okay.
It's a little overkill because the 2x4s are so wide. Generally, like in framing in a house, they're on edge and there's 16 on center. This is so wide, you could actually be like 18 or 20.
Well, it's like, what's our overall space, and then...
Yep, the overall space, we're going to have one on the floor. We have to build that out to the same height.
Yep.
So if we came up, you can actually go 1, 2, 3.
Honest man, simple as the next. I play it smart and try to keep the heart a beating in my chest. I keep my sniffer clean, and boy, I mean that's a fact. When the winds of trouble blow, I grab a hold of my hat. Yeah, I pay my dues and keep my shoes tight. Never cause nobody grief and turn my back on a fight. I got the right idea, had to stay in a line.
Right side framing almost completed with 2x4s. We went with 2x4s along with, because they're 1.5 inch thick, along with the 1.5 inch ribs. We're going to get 3 inches of insulation. We're going for cold climate living here.
We want to live in Vermont and Idaho and Washington and Florida and Texas, and so both for cold and for
cold and hot. Yeah. So right now I'm just foaming the floor. The floor has how many inches of insulation you got? 3. Looks like 3 and 3
it's
inches.
Like 2.5 or 3.
I think it's 3 in the floor.
Okay. Yeah, we went for max.
Yeah, 3 inches of pink foam board in the floor. Now I am just great stuff gap filling the corners because I need to put 2x4 framing down along the bottom corner of the floor to make the wall continuous.
As usual, we were about to actually start doing stuff, and then we realized we needed more supplies. So we went into town and we got supplies, and then we ate lunch and blah blah blah. And then here we are, boxing out the wheel wells. That was what we realized, is we don't want to finish this, put this final 2x4 in on the floor until the wheel wells were boxed in. So.
This is called the pocket hole jig. This is the Drill Master portable pocket hole jig. We get it Harbor Freight for about $70. So I've used this in my trailer renovation, framing the walls. Like we're going to pin these guys to the deck. 2 different angles here. One is a very shallow angle for thin wood, and this is a steeper angle for fat wood. So we'll go right in the center because that's going to do a few. But then this guy will just adjust the wheel for the thickness of the board that locks it in. Check the depth. This has a depth ring on it. I don't want to drill holes through. Yeah, that's good. This gives you a pre-drilled hole. When you go to mount this thing to the floor, you've got spots you just run your screws perfectly right in. This is a special bit with the pilot, see the little pilot point down there?
Yeah.
And then it's fatter for the head of the screw.
The good Lord knows he built one hell of a ride. And being a coffin maker makes you wake up to the truth. I've been wood around more sinners than a preacher man's booth. I measure father and mother and sister and brother and daughter and son. sun. Make my way home to a graveyard when my work is done.
It's also just for air penetration. I'm spinning it around to take the pressure off. Whatever. Don't bother me. All we're worried about is squaring it to this right now.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm going to glue the other corner. I'll take this here. And we'll in a little bit. I think what we'll do is we will set this board and then we'll adjust those ends.
Ist und in und hol.
Is it?
Ist und in each and who. I hope my friend Dan Ruderswar doesn't watch this. He speaks fluent German.
Does it?
Yes.
They say English is for speaking to horses. German is for speaking to the dogs. And the French is for lovers speaking.
Oui, oui, non, non. C'est merveilleux. Magnifique. Ouh la la.
Yeah. So we'll know where to glue, but
Little Robbie cracked like the robin's egg that he tried to reach. I built him a little resting box out of maple and beech. And when I'd been borrowed from hard men more than he could pay, came in out of the mahogany on his dying day. And dear old widow Daisy found her way to sleep all alone. I hollowed out the tree her husband planted.
Craig jig screws. And the idea of the washer head, see, it's creating a pocket that has a shelf in there, and the washer head pulls down on that shelf evenly, whereas if you use a normal screw with a bugle-shaped head, it wants to just split the wood.
Das ist vast.
That'll just help prevent squeakiness between metal and wood rubbing as you drive down the road. That's what that's all about.
Yeah, I was wondering about that.
It's called GIMP, and that has a flat piece that goes in between the wood, and all you see is a round bead on the surface. But it's to prevent the wood from wearing and squeaking on itself. First I was feeling like I was a little overdoing it with, full framing lumber, but I know there's not going to be that much of that in here.
Yeah.
And I want everything built to be built up strong, so whatever we attach to it, that's also solid.
Yep.
Like the bathroom floor will be on top of there, and
Right, yeah.
different
It's gonna
stuff.
have Addison standing on it.
Exactly. So if we just made a plywood box, you do the oh.
Came in out of the mahogany on his dying day. And dear old widow Daisy found her way to sleep all alone. I hollowed out the tree her husband planted for her eternal home. And Big Joe was a brawler who'd lost in a fight. Said I'd measure him before his mother, and he proved himself right. Mr. White was a mean old man that many despised. When I hammered in the nails, he didn't look that surprised. Teresa was a mother, kind as any you'd see. Fell down the stairs in front of chapel into my hickory. And Edgar Rose broke the heart of every honey he kissed. Carved the truth into his rosewood, he'll always be missed. The list goes on and on, longer than I can say. Read another final chapter nearly every day. If it's one thing that I learned, it's that you just never know when the reaper's gonna decide that it's your time to go. So I stick to my own business, and business is good. I'ma keep on making paper just as long as there's wood.
Okay, how many inches you got there? Just checking.
Got 0 for you. 0.
What are you doing? I don't know, I'm just over here trying to justify my existence on this job. When we have a butt joint, we're putting a piece of 3/4 inch plywood glued to the back and screwed from the face. Bob a PL 400 at the back of each joint and 6 2.5 inch screws which just go through the top. So we'll have to be a little careful for wiring, not to hang wires up on those. And I do not believe we'll get any twisting out of these end joints here. We'll find out, but I feel pretty good about it. They would have to do a really hard twist because we got two. We're using number 14 and number 12s, like 2-inch self-drilling screws for wood to metal, 2.5 inch.
Looking good.
Well, I was manufactured on an assembly line. Now I live the life that the system has designed. I'm doing things just as I'm told without a question why. My thoughts are drowned out by the daily grind. Well, I have a name, but it's not who I am. Just a projected profit in a big financial plan. Just a tiny moving part in a system I don't understand. My purpose is determined by a programmer's hand. I just keep working, earning, spending, burning my life away, perpetuating, fueling the machine. But the life of a robot's not as bad as it may seem. We never question the directions of the big machine. Our only dreams are what we've seen displayed upon the screen. We just gotta pray the engines don't run out of steam. Tells me consume, consume. I used to have a spark inside, but now I run on fumes. I just keep shoveling soul into the furnace, fueling my own doom, till they toss me in the junkyard if they don't run out of room. But still the life of a robot's not as bad as it may seem. We never question the interactions of the big machine. Our only dreams are what we've seen displayed upon the screen. We just gotta